Hello, Collective. Welcome back to Wounds to Wisdom, our Shadow Work series, part 4. Welcome, you guys. Welcome back in. As usual, as we do weeklies on Thursdays, we are going to take a look at a few of our Wounds to Wisdom oracles from our beautiful Shemet Horsfield's deck that she created here. So let's see what the most important wounds we need to turn into wisdom that we can turn into our superpower this week for the collective. 3, please, Spirit. Give me 3. Okay. Abandonment, number 15. Persecution wound. Okay, number 8. One more, please, Spirit. What is the strongest shadow energies that we need to turn into superpowers this week for the collective? Sister wound. A lot of female energy. Okay. And at the bottom of the deck, we have sovereignty, number 31. So the number 15 could be significant. 15 is negative energy, or what they call devil energy. You could be born on the 15th. The number 6 could be significant, born on the 6th or the month of June. Abandonment. We have number 8. You could be born on the 8th. The month of August could be significant with persecution wound. And then we have the number 3, sister wound. You could be born on the 3rd or in the month of March. So let's start with number 15 with abandonment. The strongest energy this week for the collective. A lot of people are feeling abandoned. Collective, this could be you walking away from people at this time because you are starting to understand your worth after for so many years feeling abandoned, feeling like you could not let go of relationships that no longer served your soul, your heart space, your mind, your spirit. You held on tightly out of fear of being alone. But let's see how we can change this into a wisdom and change this into your superpower. Abandonment arises when someone significant physically or emotionally deserts us. This wound carries feelings of rejection, isolation, and deep loss, often leading to a fear of future, abandonment, and difficulty trusting others. The oracle's message is to heal the abandonment wound is to embark on a sacred pilgrimage of self-reclamation and inner nurturing. Begin by acknowledging the pain and vulnerability stirred within you by tenderly cradling your wounded self with love and compassion. You need to make a vow never to abandon yourself. Your commitment to self-love and presence will begin to heal this wound. The wound associated with abandonment can create feelings of separation, loss, and unworthiness. It can cast shadows over your path of self-discovery, connection, and growth, making it difficult to form trusting relationships. The fear of getting hurt again may cause you to push people away, further intensifying feelings of loneliness and isolation. This creates a deep and primal longing for connection, yet simultaneously a fear of vulnerability, keeping you stuck in cycles of emotional withdrawal. The triggers is neglect, rejection, loss, breakups, and unresolved childhood trauma. In order to transform this wound, radical self-love and self-care are the keys to transforming. Nurture the inner child within you who longs for safety and reassurance. Through the alchemy of awareness, nurturance, and acceptance, you can release the grip of abandonment and allow your true essence to shine. Embrace all parts of yourself, especially those you've pushed away. The treasures from healing abandonment reveals profound treasures such as resilience, emotional independence, and a deeper connection to your inner self. As you heal your abandonment wound, you can reclaim your worth and develop the strength to face challenges gracefully and confidently. The superpowers, The abandonment wound has the potential to cultivate a strong fighting spirit, one that transforms adversity into resilience. When you heal this wound, you emerge empowered and more self resilient, self reliant, knowing you will never abandon yourself. Abandonment, persecution wound. Number 8, the persecution wound is a deep scar etched into the collective human psyche, shaped by the oppression, discrimination, and violence endured by marginalized groups throughout history. It carries the pain of being targeted simply for being different. You are being called to heal this. The wound associated with this is toxic patriarchal thinking, which has conditioned us to believe that if we embody feminine power, including the power of our intuition, sexuality, and emotions, we are manipulative, deceptive, or even dangerous. For lifetimes, women have been shamed, blamed, abused, and persecuted for expressing their true nature. This has created a fear of our power, silencing and keeping us small. The shadow side of this wound manifests as fear, mistrust, and hiding, leaving us feeling marginalized, powerless, and invalidated. The conscious or subconscious fear of being shamed or persecuted for our authenticity keeps us hiding in the shadows. The triggers: shame, blame, fear, disrespect, being treated as a commodity, invalidation, and psychological or physical abuse. To transform, throughout history, wise women have known about the power within them, and many have died for it. Today, we are called to reclaim voices, awaken our intuition, and embrace sacred, divine, feminine leadership. The wisdom calls for courage, compassion, and a commitment to truth and justice. The wisdom is found in understanding that persecution is rarely personal. It is often a reflection of the fear, ignorance, and unhealed wounds within the others. When we release the need to carry their projections, we rise above, anchored in our truth and grace. The treasures are empowerment and inner strength, fueling incredible personal and collective change. Your superpower, like the phoenix rising from the ashes, healing the persecution wound, awakens an unstoppable resilience. Beautiful. Sister wound. The sister wound is a thread woven into the larger tapestry of the collective divine feminine wound. It often stems from generations of comparison, betrayal, and competition that have been passed down through ancestral and cultural conditioning. At its core, the sister wound reflects separation from oneself and the collective power of feminine unity. The wound reflects disconnection from sacred bonds of sisterhood, festered by the patriarchal consciousness that pits women against one another. If you have been plagued by comparison, inadequacy, undermining, backstabbing, or betrayal in your relationships with other women, you may be experiencing the sister wound. This wound can stem from childhood, social pressures, or past betrayals, fracturing the sacred bonds of sisterhood. In the shadow, the sister wound arises when relationships between women are influenced by unhealed pain, competition, or mistrust. It manifests as emotional pain, jealousy, competition, and betrayal. This shadow keeps women disconnected from each other, perpetuating cycles of isolation and unfulfilled relationships. The triggers are competition, betrayal, gossip, jealousy, mistrust, and loneliness. Transformation: it is time to reclaim the power of sisterhood by nurturing compassion, empathy, and cultivating an understanding, first for yourself and then for your fellow sisters. Release the old patterns of competition and comparison and instead honor the radiant, unique gifts each woman carries. Because we are all uniquely different, collective, especially my divine feminines. There is no need to be in competition with a woman who is nothing like you, who does not share the same gifts, who did not share the same life experience. Why? You are all meant to travel and walk your own path, learn your own life lessons, have your own life experiences unique to you for the purpose of growth. The treasures gained are authentic connections, nurturing relationships, mutual empowerment, emotional resilience, shared wisdom, forgiveness, compassion, inner peace, increased self worth, and a sacred sisterhood community. The wisdom requires acknowledging that it's not just a personal struggle, but a collective one. It involves reclaiming trust, embracing collaboration, and celebrating one another's unique gifts, paving the way for an empowered sisterhood. When we rise together, we remember we were never meant to do this alone. The superpower, through the sacred alchemy of sisterhood, you can transmute the pain of the sister wound into profound healing, unity, and empowerment. I just thought of the song by Queen Latifah from the 80s. UNITY, UNITY, that's a unity. Any of my 80s babies. It turns into profound healing, unity, and empowerment. We can rise together, understanding that each sister's strength reflects our own collective. It's time for the collective in general to support each other. Again, we all have wounds. We all have things that we are learning to heal from. This is why I do the shadow work series every week to the best of my ability, because I understand the importance in understanding our hurt, knowing where to place our pain, understanding that the pain should only be temporary because it holds knowledge that's supposed to be used, lessons that's supposed to be gained, wisdom that's supposed to be accepted and applied towards our life to not keep us blocked so that we can continue to be nourished, flourish, grow, evolve, and turn into our highest version of self. It takes a village. It takes acknowledgement, but the vibration of the collective is continuing to rise higher, to vibrate higher, because people are accepting, people are learning, looking for this knowledge, accepting this knowledge, and understanding that life is your book that you are writing, filled with so much knowledge and wisdom as well, to be turned from wounds to wisdom into your superpower. Collective, this is what I have for you in Shadow Work Series Part 4, Wounds to Wisdom. Thank you for joining me in the Shadow Work Series again this week. Hopefully you were able to catch them all, because there was so much good information this week. A lot of very specific messages for people within my collective. So I hope the messages find you and truly help and guide you moving forward. Thank you again, Shamet, for your beautiful deck, your artwork, your knowledge, your beauty, your grace. Hit that like button, comment, share, subscribe, and follow me collective. But until next time, you guys, bye.